Welcome back, everybody. Happy Finance Friday. Are you ready? Are you ready for the next video? Thank you again, everybody, for watching. I hope you guys are doing well, being safe. I'm excited to get back to the mainland. Las Vegas is open. All the economy is coming back up. What's going to happen? What's going to happen in Magic Cards? Stay tuned and find out. Enjoy. Aloha.
Vintage Magic. Game. Collect. Invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit vintagemagic.com.
All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. It's me, Daniel, with vintagemagic.com. All right, so happy Finance Friday. I hope you guys are doing well. Take a little break from all the mess and the drama. So I want to do this video today because I want to talk about some things that are happening in the news so we understand where the economy is actually going to go for Magic, in my opinion. This is all my opinion. All right, so first off, the stock market went to a blistering Dow 27,000. So for those of you who don't know anything about stocks, the Dow Jones essentially was around almost 30,000, the index, and it went down to almost 19,000, almost below 90,000 at a certain point, and then roared back, and that was in March, by the way, 2020, and then roared back as of today over 27,000. So that gives you an indicator from a stock perspective where the economy is. Now, this data all came regarding the jobs. Like I was telling you guys before in some of my assessment, if the jobs don't come back and the layoffs persist and it gets worse and worse, people obviously can't pay off their bills, they can't pay their mortgage, there's not enough relief, then we're going to see a trickle-down effect for the economy of Magic, because people are then going to have to sell their cards to pay off their mortgage, essentially. But with everything now coming back, so you see a lot of triggered events like Las Vegas is coming back, travel's coming back. Hawaii, for example, is starting to put standards back into place where they're going to allow travel. So they have a 14-day quarantine or something where you're stuck in a hotel, stuck in the address that you're at, you can't leave anywhere. They watch what you're doing, type of thing, all that stuff. And now they're trying to get that 14-day quarantine off. So that tells you that, even at, tourism, right, is the big economy, right, that's driving the negative downturn. So you got like the Carnival Cruises, you got the airline travel, the hotels, the Marriotts, the Hiltons, all those companies, all those industries, restaurants, everything has been crippled by this. So by a sign of it increasing, right, and then the jobs, they're thinking that the job percentage of lost jobs was going to be about 20%, and actually went down in the month of May, which is really surprising. Thus, you saw the stocks go back up. So a lot of you wondering, well, why does that affect Magic? Well, again, watching all of this, my assessment is that we're in a slow climb back, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like, first off, if the jobs keep coming back, which I think that the restaurants are going to keep opening, they're going to start opening up different type of sectors. Eventually, I don't think conventions, I don't think that kind of thing is going to open up this year, like big shows type of thing. But I do see, obviously, shopping malls with social distancing. I do see other retail stores, all that kind of stuff opening up here very soon. So with that said, you basically have a situation where the economy, while it's not the same pace that it was before, it's in a massive recovery mode, thus this massive buy into the stock market. And thus, that affects people, again, with the 401ks and also their retirement. It gives the perception of consumer confidence where, hey, I can buy luxury goods, meaning Magic cards, meaning artwork, meaning gaming stuff. I also think, this is something interesting, I also think because of the fact that there's no Magic Fest this year, and keep this in mind, there's no Magic Fest at all for the rest of 2020. They announced it from Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast. That means all of the luxury spend focuses only on all the online retailers. eBay, TCG Player, all the other big stores. Myself, people have been buying offline, off eBay type of things. It shows you that people still have money that they want to spend. They're more cautious. They're looking for deals. But what you're running into is that the deals aren't really there. The deals, like I was already predicting, like they're not really there, and people are now going back to levels of what it was. I'm not saying it's going to sell, but people still want back to pre-recession time. And so, like I was saying before to you guys before, if you look at my previous videos, I've been saying you got to put into the stocks. You got to put into other diversified assets. And look what happened. Stocks like Nordstrom, stocks like, Disney, all those stocks, Boeing, Delta, American Airlines, United Airlines, all those stocks, if you put money into it in March, when I was telling you guys to diversify your assets, it would have been an incredible, just screaming, increase. ExxonMobil, all those stocks, right? And so Magic Cards is similar. If you would have bought at the lows, there are examples where you would have bought at the really low, right? You would have made a killing. Now, there wasn't that much supply, but you had to put your money into work. And it was a risk. For those of you who took a risk, you're probably going to make some money off it. You're going to make some money off it. Now, where do we go from here? This is the ongoing struggle. There's only a couple plays that I see. Number one, I do not see, you either see it going back down because of the second wave. Let's say there's like a second wave, complete catastrophe, Vegas gets hit hard, all those, the red states, the Texas, the Georgia, Florida, all those states have opened up, start getting cases spiking, and then not just cases, but deaths. Let's say the deaths start going up, even with the warm weather. Let's say deaths go up, theoretically. That means that the stocks, the buying, everything's going to be in a halt. Another shutdown is going to come. And that will trigger a massive, massive additional recession. If not another increase in the possibility of a depression. See, the thing is, right now we're in a recession, but the thing is, I think that if a second wave occurred, it could actually lead to a massive depression, which is even worse. Depression, you're gonna have to look at the economic terminology and stuff, but it's even more catastrophic. It's multi-years of downturn. Now, so that's the first scenario. The second scenario, it could be what we're seeing now, where jobs are increased. Every week there's increase in jobs, states opening up. The jobless rate is the unemployment rate essentially is going down and down. Let's say, I think right now it's around 13 something percent. It was around 15%. They thought it was going to be 20% in May or something, and it's not. It went down to 13 something percent. So it's lower than the 15% or so what it was the previous month. So for it to go down already is insane. I think they added like 2 million jobs. Now people are like arguing like, well, Dan, that's just, that's still double-digit unemployment. I mean, it's terrible. But the thing is, you have to understand that the recovery is going to be so fast, that it's almost scary, right? You see swings in a stock market and stuff that are so high. It's crazy, right? So the Magic Cards haven't done that. The Magic Cards haven't gone, crazy, right? Swings, yeah. Main reason why is I think people with Magic Cards are just, a lot of them just work from home. And a lot of people just are sitting from home looking like, well, I still make a paycheck. I'm still going to buy this. And I'm speaking specifically older Magic Cards. And also the modern Magic cards are still going up. The new Magic stuff, the new sets are still, there's a huge appetite to buy into these new sets and everything. So what's going on? Because like I said in one of my earlier videos, times of struggle, people still buy into like luxury, gaming, alcohol, feel good. It feels good, right? Times are tough, but I still can play Magic online, right? I can still play on Skype. I can still collect and buy on eBay or Amazon or a TCG player. I can buy from my vendor still online. So it makes me feel good. And they're not going to give that up. I don't think that's going to give up. So that second scenario is that it's going to keep going back up, and it's going to recover in the next 2021. End of 2021, I see things recovering quite a bit. I think conventions are going to start opening up, stuff like that. But the thing is, what if the third scenario I thought about was it stays flat? Flat. Well, that's the tough one. Because what if, this is the tough part. What if a fraction of the jobs, let's say the unemployment rate still stays around 9%, 8% at a certain point. It's still pretty high. It's not like what it was before. I think it was like 3 or 4%. I don't know, something lower than that maybe. What if it just goes around 9 to 10% and stays flat? And what's going to happen? Well, I think what's going to happen is that people in the industries of tourism and restaurants, unfortunately, it's going to cripple those businesses. Some businesses are going to go out of business. I think even JCPenney's, I think, filed for bankruptcy. I think Pier 1 Imports, I think, filed for bankruptcy. A lot of retail companies in that sectors are going to be affected. And if you're in those like type of jobs, right, retail, and you're in that Magic the Gathering luxury collectible sector, you're going to be like, man, I got to sell my collectibles. But the thing is, I don't think it quite hits home yet to Magic the Gathering collectors until the tech jobs start losing business. And I just don't see that happening, because a lot of people that play Magic are either in that tech industry, professional industry, they have other assets, investments, multiple investments in real estate. A lot of people are in management, for example. It's not quite doom and gloom all the way. So I'm not sure if we're going to see ever in the next few years a Magic Gathering huge decline that we expected. So what will happen then if it's flat further? Well, I actually think that there's going to be a flatness, and then there's going to be another spike. I predict that a spike will occur. Right now it's 2020. I'd probably say if you're buying into this market now, we'll see another spike from what we're seeing now around 5 years. If you date this video right now, about 5 years, there will be a significant progression into the increase of a lot of these collectibles. We're talking probably in the neighborhood of 20 to 50%. It's not a huge uptick. We're not saying quadruple, double. Some might go double. Not saying they won't. But I wouldn't doubt that like Revised Underground Sea been hammered crazy. Like it used to be $700 near mint buy list. Now it's like, trading BGS 9, $500, right? So on eBay or something. So the thing is, if you think about it, it's going to uptick further on. I think it's going to go back to $1,000, in the next 5 years. So there's opportunity there. And there's always going to be opportunity if you have cash waiting on the sidelines. Last thought in general. A lot of you guys have asked me, can I get rich here? Can I make a crazy killing off, certain like picks of the new stuff? Can I buy the secret layers and the double masters and all that kind of stuff? As always, every new product that I've ever seen will get reprinted. It doesn't matter if there's a fancy border, a shiny star, a foiled stamp. They haven't done that yet. Box topper times 2, times 5, whatever, right? Whatever they do, they're always going to reprint the same non-reserve list cards forever. Infinite amounts. So be cautioned, because the reality is, even though there's an appetite for it, eventually the saturation, the ideas of like borderless stuff and fancy lands and stuff like that, that's going to go away. Eventually it has to go away, and there's going to be a depression of some of those. Just there's too many of the supply of those type of cards, like the card Termagoy, for example. Too many fancy shiny stuff, right, will finally force certain items to go down. All right, guys, comment below. Am I correct? Wrong? What are your thoughts? I want to hear some creative ideas. It's kind of like one of those times. I'm taking it easy right now, seeing how it goes. Cash on the sidelines, but still buying deals. Look forward to hearing your comments. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you guys later. Hey everyone, it's Daniel Chang with VintageMagic.com. In this video, I want to run through our consultation service on VintageMagic.com. So what's really exciting to me about the consultation process is meeting you. I've met so many incredible people in the Magic the Gathering industry all over the world, and this consultation process is the key part to a successful working relationship. Getting hold of me is very simple. You could call or email me. We'll talk more about your needs. From all that information I gather in our call, typically about an hour long, I'm going to determine the best solution for you. So because we have such a suite of services that we offer, I'm gonna sit down with a follow-up call, and then we're gonna go off and determine what the best path is. I have experience in handling conversations in regards to large collections of artwork, sets of cards, either if it's graded or ungraded, raw cards. I also have dealt with collections with lots of misprints and oddities. Altered cards, sketch cards, and artist proofs are also one of my specialties. My experience in Magic Gathering has gone to any level of collecting you may have. I look forward to working with you.
Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit VintageMagic.com.